Chapter 2. The Outsider Arrives. He came to Barrow County with a moving truck and a plan. The truck rattled past the feed store, and the diner with the crooked open sign past a hand-painted billboard that read, "Jesus I's coming. Honk if you're ready," and finally onto a road that had no name until the county paved it. The GPS called it CR 108. The men at the diner still called it the old Jeffries place. Jonas Darby climbed down in a city jacket and new work boots that hadn't yet learned the language of mud. The realtor, a woman whose smile could have sold rust as antique, handed him the keys like a ceremony. 40 acres and a farmhouse, she said. Peace and quiet. He walked the porch first, counting floorboards, like steps in a ritual. A man measuring whether this life might fit. Out back, a field sloped into a tree line of loblolly and sweet gum. Somewhere a hawk carved circles against a blank winter sky. He closed his eyes and decided this, finally, would be the place he didn't have to defend. The first neighbor to welcome him wasn't human. A hound with one ear cocked trotted along the barbed wire like a patrolman on his beat. The dog paused, sized Jonas up, and sneezed unimpressed. Then it went back to its invisible work, nose down, tail flagging. "Hey," Jonas said softly, not yet angry enough at the world to take offense at a dog. "You lost?" The hound answered with a long, melodic bawl that rolled through the pines like a slow trumpet. Two more answered deeper in the woods. The sound unsettled him, too alive, too communal, like a conversation in a language he didn't speak. He went inside and shut the door on it, as if sound respected wood. That night, alone among boxes and clean intentions, he unpacked his gun safe. The pistol lay oiled in velvet, the one tool he trusted to equalize the world. He had read the statutes twice, highlighted case law, taken the safety course. He wasn't reckless. He was prepared. He told himself that was different. The next morning brought ceramic mugs and neighborly favors. A woman from 2 houses down left banana bread and a card. A man with a brim-curled cap and sunburned forearms pulled into the drive, shut off a rumbling truck, and introduced himself by both his name and his father's. "Name's Cole Turner," he said, offering a hand. "Welcome. That fence line's straight, but the creek behind it ain't. After rain, it acts like it owns the place." Jonas shook his hand, surprised at the roughness. "Appreciate it." Cole's gaze drifted toward the tree line, the way men look at land they've known long enough to mistrust. "You'll hear dogs, time to time," he said. "Pine Hollow runs this corridor. We try to keep 'em tight, but, dogs chase scent, not signs. If one crosses, call me. Quicker than the sheriff. We'll come get 'em, no trouble." Jonas nodded politely, already feeling the tremor beneath the man's easy tone, an assumption of belonging. "I prefer official channels," he said. "Less ambiguity." Cole blinked once, measuring him again. "Up to you. Just figured I'd make it neighbor simple." They parted without offense, but not with understanding. By the third week, Jonas's routines had hardened. He ran into town on Sundays, learned when the grocery quieted between church and lunch, found which pump at the BP actually took his card. He tried the diner once, sat under a Coca-Cola clock, and listened. The talk was weather, deer, illness, and the price of diesel. When someone mentioned dogs, the room's energy sharpened. "Ran the big swamp Saturday," a man in a seed company hat said. Old Red took it across the rail bed like he was late to a wedding. "Old Red takes everything like he's late to a wedding," another laughed. "You run the Jeffries line?" "Nah, new fella there, city type. Don't think he's much for dogs." Jonas stared into his coffee, heat rising. Was it embarrassment or anger? It occurred to him he'd already become a story. He paid, left too much tip, and drove home fast. The dogs came again the next weekend, a chorus braided from half a dozen throats. Jonas stood at the fence and watched shadows move through saplings. He saw no men, only flashes of orange deeper in the woods. The collars blinked green like the eyes of small aliens. Somewhere a horn sounded, 3 short notes, a language he didn't know. He called the non-emergency number and explained in his practiced bureaucrat's tone, calm, precise within his rights. The dispatcher was polite and uninterested. Sir, unless there's damage or a threat, we can note it. Do you want us to note it? He did. He wanted someone to write down his inconvenience, to make it official. He slept worse that night. That evening he found the community Facebook page. It was meant for yard sales and lost pets, but the comments felt like a town square. He scrolled through threads until midnight, reading arguments about hunting, property, and the old ways. When he finally posted, the words came like habit. Private property. I's not a suggestion. If your dogs cross my fence, expect a call and a report. The post lit up by morning. Some nodded. Some cursed him. A few tried to reason gently, explaining how dogs worked, how counties worked, how neighbors kept from hating each other. He answered those with sharper edges than they deserved. Elsewhere, in the cab of a truck, Cole Turner read the post by the glow of his phone. Boy's writing checks he can't cash, Wayne Best said from the passenger seat. Cole exhaled through his nose. We'll keep it tight. Don't goad him. What he calls goading, Wayne said, we call talking. Snow came and went without sticking. Rain followed, turning the clay slick and orange. One Tuesday, the mail brought a thin envelope from the state, concealed carry permit denied. He stood at the counter, reread it twice, and told the empty house, they don't know me. He filed it under permits and rights, behind a tab labeled documentation. Filing it didn't make it better, but it made it real. By Friday, Deputy Miller had his first visit with Jonas. He parked at the gate, removed his hat, and listened as Jonas pointed out paw prints fading in the mud. They crossed here, Jonas said, and here. Your dispatcher noted it. Miller squinted at the ground, then at the man. You got their numbers? I'd rather not negotiate my rights, Jonas said. Wasn't asking you to, just telling you what solves things faster than we do. He handed Jonas a card. If you feel threatened, call 911. If it's just dogs, call them first, me second. That night, Jonas typed an email to himself, subject line boundaries. He listed dates, times, the deputy's name, the color of each collar. He documented because documentation felt like defense. Saturday dawned bright and brittle. The hunt started before breakfast. Hounds opened, 1, then 3, then many, their voices rolling through the woods like prayer. Jonas shut himself in the barn, breathing hay and fear. But when one bark rose closer, right against the fence, he stepped outside. 3 dogs milled by the wire, confused and panting. He saw orange vests beyond the trees, and something in him, some brittle pride, snapped. He called out, "They're on my land." Cole's voice answered, calm but strained. "We'll wait here, Darby. Let us get them." I said, "I'll call the sheriff." He turned toward the porch. The pistol was on the table. He told himself he was only putting it away. When he came back out, it rode against his hip. Cole lifted his hands, palms open. "No need for that. We ain't crossing. I'm within my rights," Jonas said. The words hung there like frost in sunlight, clear, sharp, and fragile. End chapter 2.